of the new surface mode brushes is the smoother brush, and if you hover over the particular tool, you'll see a larger thumbnail that will give you some visual indication of what it does, as well as a fairly lengthy tooltip. And it says that this tool acts as if you're smoothing a selected area an infinite amount of times. You may dissolve even large details of a model with this particular tool. Use Preserve Surface to smooth details, but also preserve overall surface flow. So let's see exactly how this works. It's very similar to working with Vox Extrude or Vox Layer in the sense that you can basically paint select an area that you want to smooth. Let's say here in the chest area, I want to hide the head so it's a little easier on our graphic card to navigate about. And I can just paint select an area and you see a green boundary. So we have two major options here. If I uncheck Preserve Surface, this gives you again a tooltip that will tell you a little bit more about this option. But if I uncheck that and click Apply, basically it's like applying smooth an infinite amount of times. You just keep pressing and pressing and pressing, and this will be what you'll get, almost a flattened surface. So in that sense it's rather destructive, but it's very good if you want to actually dissolve large details. Let's say you've worked on a model and you decide there are certain portions you really just want to whittle back down to a base. So this is one good option. I'm going to undo, and I'm going to check Preserve Surface and hit Apply. Okay, and let's say if that's not enough, I can just continue to hit Apply and it will continue to smooth over and over. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit Control D just as I would in Photoshop if I wanted to clear a selection. Control D will clear that, or I can click Clear Selection here. Okay, one other option is sometimes you may want a very precise amount of smoothing, or you want to make a very precise selection, I should say. And in that case, you would want to use the E panel, come over maybe to the closed spline, lay down some points, and when you're ready to finish your spline, just hit Escape. And you can go in and quickly sharpen points by right-clicking until you get a sharp point, if that's what you want. You can right-click and the initial point. By default, B-splines is chosen, which is a weighted point. As you can see, the spline is actually offset from the point, so that's what you have with B-splines. But if you uncheck that, okay, now all your splines are just a standard spline with a little bit of curvature to it. So when you right click, it will just cycle between the different spline types for just that point alone. So I can right click on this point to get a hard edge, B-spline, spline, hard edge. Okay, so move this one. You can always add a point. And if you want to remove a point, you can always just hover over it, hit the delete key, and so on. You transform the entire selection. But enough of this, we'll just go ahead and go back to edit points. Now what we need to do is hit apply. However, I wanted to show one thing that's very important to keep in mind. By default, oftentimes this depth limit is checked. I'm not sure why, but it is. So when that's checked and you hit apply, you'll get nothing. Okay, just go ahead and uncheck depth limit. Now hit apply, or you could hit the enter key and it will make this selection. So we no longer need this spline. We've already got the selection made. I can hit escape. So we have our selection. Okay, again I can hit apply and it will smooth everything out. Okay, and clear selection, and there we have it. Okay, so that is a look at using the smoother brush in 3D Coat. Thank you for watching.